gods. So many have fallen, but the ship is ours. So close to escaping.
Pray to you for my Seeker brethren. Show us the path to salvation. Blessings to our fallen. Pray that they may find rest. Blessings to our fallen.
I remember this
Pray
one.
that they may find rest.
His name was Kerban. His friend's sword couldn't save him, it would appear.
Sindelius, hear my prayer. Show us the way forward. Deliver us from peril. Don't go any further, Godwoken. We need you alive. The ship won't sail. We had orders to search every corner of it and figure out what's blocking us. It's hewn from elven livewood. I thought I could communicate with it, but...
She glances over towards a smouldering pile of ash on the deck nearby. Something is nestled within it. Fragments of scorched bone.
That was Brendan. When the ship wouldn't answer my call, he touched the figurehead, and it attacked him. Without warning. He burned, like he was made of parchment. Nothing. The ship is livewood, that much is clear. But I couldn't communicate with it. The Magisters must have done something, warped it somehow. I just don't know what.
Her eyes flick over to the smouldering ashes once again, her head held at a despondent angle.
Thank you. We were held captive together, on this ship. He kept my spirits up. Now he's dead. Just remember what I said, Godwoken. If you die, then this was all for nothing. Sindelius, hear my prayer. Show us the way forward. Deliver us from peril.
Before you is a towering figurehead carved in the likeness of a dragon. It looms over the bow, its fangs bared at the open sea. There's an odd mark on the side of the figurehead. Battle damage, weather staining. It almost looks like a pattern, however. Searing pain races up your arm. The ship senses you. It's angry. The pain in your arm subsides to a dull tingle. The skin on your hand is already blistering. Searing pain races up your arm. The ship senses you. It's angry. The pain intensifies. It's spreading past your arm, across your chest. Your lungs feel like they're on fire. The figurehead continues its vigil over the seas.
Spare me, Gareth. We got what we came for. This is what success looks like.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper service.
What's-his-face and so-and-so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those Godwoken, after all.
You know their names, Malady. Can't you even pay them that much respect?
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye and smiles, barely.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken. Glad to see you safely aboard.
Very glad indeed.
Too many.
One too few, actually. Alexander, he's alive. Apparently didn't hit hard enough.
He's in the hold below decks. Unconscious, but alive.
What could possibly be more urgent than getting this boat moving again? She's mute. We need to free her tongue.
You're welcome to try, though I doubt it'll help.
What Gareth means to say is don't bother. Livewood will only move when it wants to, or in this tub's case, when it's forced to. That's right, the ship's made of an elven ancestor tree, the spirit of which is still trapped in every plank. What we need is a way to control the bloody thing.
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It hasn't been easy. This place is laced with dark magic.
These Seekers have such a limited skill set.
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do. And I hope you do too.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They kind like to feel useful, don't they? Hopefully, you'll never have to find out.
Nothing here.
Void Slayer, Worm Killer, Godwoken. You have many names. Let's add ship's captain to the list once we get this thing moving, shall we? I won't let the Fallen be forgotten. I'd be no better than Dallas, no better than Alexandar, if I just tossed their remains into the sea. To think that whelp spawned from greatness. He deserves no better fate than his silent monks. All this blood. Children ripped from families. Seekers ripped from me. He's down there now, guarded like some precious jewel, rather than leashed and flogged like the dog he is. Amazing to think those of us in the Order once assumed the gods were with him, and only him. That was before we found the others. Ah, we must have comrades in common. The Seekers were once part of the Order, my friend. When Lucian died, we waited. Yet Alexandar never rose to divinity. And then we started to find more like him. More Godwoken. And we weren't the only ones looking. A killer had marked them too. The Seekers were born. We found Godwoken, housed them, fed them. I loved them like family. I was naive. But let's leave the past in the past and reach for what's ahead.
He narrows his eyes, yet doesn't say anything.
She's not exactly a Seeker. She's not exactly an elf either. Half demon, Meister Siva says, and I don't doubt it. I don't know how Siva came to know her, but Malady's a proper ally. She's not easy to like, but there are times I admire her coldness.
Gareth fingers the hilt of his blade. He stares at nothing in particular before turning his gaze back to you.
Driftwood, of course. Little fishing village. Not very welcoming, but you'll brighten it up, I'm sure. Got family near there. Not the adventuring types. For the best, really. Meister Siva's there too. My leader. Our leader. She held the Seekers together when we had every reason to fall apart. Think of her as a teacher. The powers of the Seven stir in you. She'll reveal them to you. Show you how to manipulate them. Keep Lucian close, Godwoken.
Glad to see you made it, Ifan. Trickery to the hammer used.
Ah, my favorite godless wolf. This is Dallas's ship, but she can't have been the only one who could get it moving. It'd be too risky, and Dallas is anything but careless. There's a way to move this ship on board, I'm sure of it. The figurehead has certainly caused a commotion lately, but then again, so have the doors downstairs. Everywhere you look, a hunk of wood looking to incinerate or stymie you. You'd be surprised. A ship like this holds many secrets. Hopefully you can discover some these seekers might have missed. Dying to hear them. Meister Siva is one of a rare breed. She'd do anything in the name of a cause, and her cause happens to be you. She's desperate to meet a living Godwoken. She'll be exceedingly pleased we're en route. We'd better not leave her waiting. She's a bit particular. She's the founder of these seekers, and she's powerful. That means something when I say it. Your kind can reach astounding heights. Meister Siva can help you do just that. A place called Driftwood hosts a putrid fish, putrid dwarves, and Meister Siva herself. You'll probably find it quite comfortable.
Ah, there you are. High time to stop gallivanting and resume our journey together, wouldn't you say? Off we go, then.
Nothing here.
Think, damn it. Where would a Magister hide
There
something?
must be
You
some
made it, Godwoken. Good. Not all of us did, though. The sooner we leave this island behind us, the better.
Nothing here.
Farewell, Mattis. You did the Seekers proud.
Where would I hide something important if I was a Magister? We have to find a way to get this ship moving. We can't let the Magisters catch up with us. We're too weak to fight them again.
Good to feel the rolling of the waves. I might actually get a good night's sleep. of the waves, I might actually get a good night's sleep.
I must say, you may not be an eternal, but you are certainly... Personally, I am just glad that I do not have to walk back to Reaper's Coast. Wind travel may be primitive, but it is at least efficient. If only. Alas, I do not have time for isolation. If you must know, there is an excavation site at the Black Pits on Reaper's Coast. I go to seek answers. The only treasure worth digging for. Knowledge. I was investigating a site where several artifacts of my people have been found. Some were even intact. Alas, I was not the only one there. Those red-robed idiots were scurrying about too, trampling precious clues under their ignorant boots. They caught me when I failed to correctly respond to their questions, and dragged me here. Still, it's good to be on the move again. Ah, yes. I have heard that your people enjoy various fermented fruits and vegetables. It often seemed to be involved in... Pardon? Was that an invitation? Were you trying to initiate some form of mating ritual? Why, that would be excellent! I have been curious about this for some time. The social interactions, the expectations, the mechanics. Come now, let's begin immediately. I shall compile my notes afterwards.
Fane grabs your hand and enthusiastically pulls you behind the screen.
Well, that was most unusual. I mean, I had read all the leading authorities on it, but I didn't think... It's just... that thing you did with your tongue, it was quite unexpected. It was. I mean, it was. Of course it was. It's just that well, I felt nothing. Neither the warmth of your touch nor the fire of your passion. I may as well have been churning butter. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, you were perfectly adequate. Sublime test conditions, really. It's just... well, all these books promised a transcendental experience. Instead, it was merely biological. Now, if you'll excuse me...
The skeleton pulls a notebook from his robes and starts scribbling. You can hear him muttering something about highly unorthodox, lack of sensation, and coccyx. You ponder his words as you pick up the last of your belongings. You're almost sure that's what he said.
A team? What an interesting prospect. You certainly seemed capable in Fort Joy, and a companion on Reaper's Coast could be quite educational. Very well, I am open to this. I believe you normally spit on your palms to seal agreements, but I seem to lack the fluid and the desire to touch you. I hope a hearty verbal agreement will suffice. Very well, let's be off.
All that fighting will be worth less than nothing if we can't get this tub moving.
Melody says if we can get the ship to move, we can go home. Home!
Let's team up, you and me. What do you say? Now, onward!
How can one be seasick when one has no stomach? This is heinously unfair.
Set sail, for the love of all things, set sail. The sooner I am off this carved monstrosity, the better.
Quite right. Do seek my counsel. I highly recommend it. Why, sail for the mainland, of course. The sooner Fort Joy is but a blemish on the horizon, the better.
Missing hat, natty beard, vessel adrift. It's a sea captain's worst nightmare, it is. Look, I don't know how to ask you this, but you all right up there?
He punctuates his point by rapping his own head a few times.
We get this tub moving. I mean, what else would we do, mate?
He notes your gaping mouth and slaps you on the back with a guffaw.
You hoping to catch some flies in that maw of yours? I'm joshing you. If you're going to have an adventure, you need to get used to some ribbon, friend. Because let me tell you, if you're not laughing, you're dying.
Nothing. Damn it.
The silent monk leans forward slightly and stares at you straight in the eyes. She seems eager for you to say something. The silent monk leans forward. The silent monk leans from one foot to the other. He seems eager to move.
What am I even looking for? Will I know it when I see it?
Nothing. Damn it.
There's got to be some clue. Dallas would have trusted someone with a secret, wouldn't she? Unless there's someone still inside.
Hey! You're here! Pretty nice boat, eh? We got an upgrade. There's got to be another way to get it going, but we can't find a way into Dallas's room. Maybe you can see something we can't.
Allies for hire.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice it's unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. For a moment, you swear a face appears in the wood. A face tortured and tormented, a six-sided shape carved upon its forehead. The face vanishes. The anguished face appears, then vanishes. The door remains closed. The door remains unmarked. The door remains closed. It seems you need more than a password to open it.
Speak to me if you're looking for hired help. I've got good fighters of every stripe. They know how to keep their mouths shut too, as long as there's gold in it for them. Oh, I see you have a full contingent already. Then I'll leave you be.
Quite right. Do.
Are you certain you...
Your loss.
I've plenty of fighters for her. So, what'll it be? And who couldn't? I have several who can fight their way out of a corner. Give me specifics. A lot of choice.
No entry allowed through the starboard stateroom door. Please use the port side door.
I've spotted something.
Whatever type of companion you need, I can provide.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere? So, we've got quite the task on our hands, haven't we? I have to admit, the whole thing is very intriguing. The old band back together again, I guess that depends, doesn't it? Look at me. Hard. What do you see?
Losa leans back slightly, thin arms crossed in front of her chest, and stares at you defiantly from dark eye sockets, darker and deeper set than when you first met. She blows back a lock of white hair, matted with sweat and grime, and holds back a smile from the corners of her lips.
Exactly. Exactly. Your god wants me dead. My god? Devil? Who knows? It wants me. It's getting stronger and I need to outpace it. I want to make sure you understand, well, the risks. I can hear its thoughts. It isn't out for blood. It's out for pain. Domination. Total domination. I was wrong to think I could hold it off. I might hurt you. I might hurt anyone. Could you stop me? Really stop me if it came to that?
Can't you say anything else?
Promise? Well, all right then.
She pinches your cheek, a sparkle in her dim grey eyes.
I knew I could count on you to murder me in a pinch. Let's go, Chief.
Saying that, it won't save you.
Pretty nice ship, eh? Captain Losa. Has a ring to it, doesn't it? Depends which one. Most of them seem a little too earnest for my taste. But Malady, she's my kind of girl. In any case, it looks like they're probably going to help me find out whatever's leeching off my magnificent brain. So I'm not too pressed about being in the same boat. Ha, the same boat. I had a little chit-chat with Malady earlier. She told me I need to find someone to, exercise the thing in my noggin. Apparently, I'll be able to find him near Driftwood, where we're heading. Exciting!
Are you certain you want to dismiss?
Oh, really now?
We've braved the joy, and I lust for further adventure. What say you? Shall we continue our journey together?
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep sound.
Ha! People will enslave anything these days. At least back in my day, they had the elegance to opt for an elf. Home, there's no such thing. I hail from the land that was, the kingdom of fog, the grave of divinity. If ever I had a home, it has long since gone up in the smoke of death fog, along with so many elves. So, no home, except everywhere, really. The world is mine. It's mine because I say it is.
She looks at you, expectantly.
Yes, you may bow before the Queen of the World. We, the Queen of the World, smile upon thee with favor. We dub thee Knight of the Needle. Arise, good sir, and wear your title proudly.
She takes you by the hands and laughs heartily as you stand up.
How kind of you to play along. We won't forget. What use Fort Joy had has been spent. New hunting grounds wait across the sea, so by all means, let us sail.
Can't you say anything else? Bloody magisters.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexandar the bloody divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood. All right then, just Don't make me regret it. Hope you find something useful.
A young magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot, so stow your questions. Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the...
The Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance. The Magister's stare...
Magister Ranley...
All right then, just... don't make me regret it. Hope you find something useful. If it were up to me, you'd be swinging from the end of a rope, not locked up in here.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance.
A young Magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot, so stow your questions. Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the...
The Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance. The Magister's stare hardens into an intense scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the Divine. Prisoner or not? I warned you not to touch him.
Stand down, Magister! Stand down!
I'm ready.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle. Bruises swell beneath his eyes, and a shallow gash zigzags from his right ear down to his beardless cheek. Unconscious, he looks more boy than bishop. Someone has wiped the bishop's hands clean and folded them neatly over his abdomen. They rise and fall in shallow, jagged swells. A beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oiled rope. The gem sits heavily in your pouch. His face contorts with agony and his eyes flutter, yet he doesn't return to consciousness. No matter how loud you shout your questions, you get no response from the unconscious Alexander.
A moment's pause.
Are you certain
If we have different paths to
Missing hat?
Are you certain?
If we have different paths...
The door remains unmarked. The door remains closed. The door remains unmarked. The anguished face appears once more. It dips its forehead towards you and waits. A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door. It seems to breathe. All of a sudden, all anguish is gone. It gives you the sternest of looks.
I am summoned. Speak the password. Yes, and yes again. The word is spoken. Welcome to the stateroom.
I hope you found something or someone useful inside.
You saw what I could not. It seems Malady is quite right about you.
Just one more moment, please.
He clicks together two halves of some type of gauntlet sitting in his lap and turns his full attention to you.
And there. Rescued at last, am I? To whom do I owe my thanks? Armor? Such a limiting word, but yes, it serves that purpose, amongst others. Dallas has been keeping me prisoner here, but I try to keep working on my own projects when I can. Dallas took a particular interest in me and my skills. I'm an expert in healing, crafting, and more arcane practices. She kept me here to do her bidding, until you took her flagship from right under her nose, it seems. I've offered my services for gold in the past, yes, but my labors for Dallas were far from voluntary.
He extends his arm and pushes up the sleeve. Beneath, the skin is withered and discolored, as if it were magically decayed.
She used some form of domination device on me, forcing my hands to do her bidding, and half ruined them in the process. Well, the situation is looking immeasurably better now. You'll hear no more complaints from me. So why don't you tell me all about my valiant rescuers? To whom do I owe my thanks? You undersell yourself. The roster of those who stood up to the Magisters and lived to tell the tale is a short one. I ought to continue what I'm doing here, unless there was anything else. Took it? No, I made it. Have you seen the kind of metalwork the Magisters deploy? This is in a different class to them. As I said, the Magisters left me weakened. but this will help give me the strength to carry on my work. Oh, cast spells, tinker with relics, meddle with the laws of nature. All the sorts of things power-hungry despots love to do. She had me enchant a dead cat over there, so it would seem alive.
He clicks the gauntlet into place around his withered forearm, his eyes on you the whole time.
But that damn contraption that she used on me seems to have fogged my memory. The rest is a blur. Trust me, convenient is the last word I'd use to describe the experience. Pass me that copper wire there, would you?
He takes the copper with a nod of gratitude. His sleeve slips back, above his elbow. In its crook, you see part of a tattoo. A pattern of concentric circles rendered in black.
Perhaps my memory will come back with time. But for now, I'm afraid there's little more I can add. I'm doing my utmost to be civil to you, under rather trying circumstances. Why must you push me like this? Well, you're painting me into a corner here, friend. And I don't like to be cornered.
He takes your hand in his gauntlet-clad fist and shakes it. There's a lot more power in his grip than his slender frame would suggest.
Call me Tarquin, and consider me at your service. We're barely acquainted. Why should I tell you anything personal? Well, don't assume that you can drag me down with you. I must admit, despite what she did to me, I can't help but admire her a little. The woman is unwavering. She will break before she bends. So if you should cross paths again, be sure to leave her broken. You will not get another chance.
Enter at your... Enter at... Enter at...
Junk. pyramid. What a Rivalon is this for? What script is this? Whatever it is, it appears to be written in verse. I've spotted something. Glory is mine. Glory is mine. I'll yield to none. Glory is mine. Hurts, doesn't it? Hurts, doesn't it? Those guards, or victims. Another pyramid. Junk. What's this? I found something.
I've got sword fighters, mages, archers, all willing to fight by your side if the price is right.
This is heinous!
And you thought Rivellon was flat?
You after something? Looking to interrogate me again, perhaps?
Expert warriors for hire, all seasoned in combat. They won't let you down.
The man looks over you warily. His eyebrow arches as he takes in your undead visage, exposed for all to see.
Yes?
For security reasons, please keep this door closed.
You after something? Looking to interrogate me again, perhaps?
This is...
So how about it?
You're not quite certain.
I'm a monster. I click and clack as I stalk my prey. My tail rattles like a snake's. I suffer. Don't touch me, my very being's a curse. Was Tarquin that wretch, that rat? I ate an ill mouse and passed in my sleep, and the brooding boar brought me back on a log. Me miserable. Mumsy? Is she here? Mumsy, where are you? 'Tis I, Booply Bear. I am quite changed, but don't be frightened. There is no shame in being ridiculous in the name of love. Fie! Hear this feline's lament, O immortal gods, I am so wretched. And what is a Booply Bear without her sweet Mumsy? I say he is nothing. You? She sent you?
The cat begins to purr and rub itself on your ankles.
Any friend to Mumsy is a friend to me. I believe the song is around here somewhere. As I said, not Mumsy. You'll need the song for that. The song, of course. Trouble not my weary mind with duncery.
The cat purrs, an eerie clicking sound.
Tell Mumsy to come back soon. Now that I am but bone, I'm too light to trip the moving door. I'm sure there's a rat back there. Which way shall I fly? Infinite wrath and infinite despair. I myself am a hell.
The Seeker has removed one of her gauntlets in order to flex her wrist. It bears inflamed marks from where shackles bit into her. She sees you.
You must be starved for company to linger around here, friend. Don't worry. As soon as she changes her tune, you'll know about it. I wish. No, the Magisters kept me chained to the bulkhead. Arms held above me head, feet barely able to touch the deck. Now my joints are paying the price. We're a big bloody target on our backs. We took their leader and their flagship. The Hammer won't stand for that. She'll be hunting for us. You and half of Rivellon, friend. But no, he hasn't made a sound. He'll be in for a rude awakening when he does come to. No, they had us down below, chained up in the dark. But the Reds were up to something in here. Maybe it was just the lack of food and rest playing tricks, but I swear I heard chanting and horrible moaning coming from here. But when we broke free, it was empty.
You saw what I could not.
What am I even looking for?
Are you ready to join force? Off we go, then.
May the fallen rest easy in the Hall of Echoes. Keep Lucian
Show us the path to salvation. Blessings to our fall. I warned you, didn't I? Why did the gods choose a fool with a death wish to be their champion?
The figurehead continues its vigil over the seas. The detail is remarkable. It looks like it could turn around and incinerate you at any moment. The deck beneath you groans and trembles, like the ship itself is awaking from a slumber. A deep sigh emerges, unmistakably the sound of a living being.
There is no time to spare. We have to put this
You are not the witch. You are not Dallas. You sang the song. Now you must decide my fate. Are you to be my new master? You are kind, but I can never be free again. Not truly. I am a vessel and must be guided. Let me take you wherever you wish. We can depart as soon as you are ready. Ask. I am here to serve in all ways.
The sails overhead billow outwards suddenly. The sun is blocked, momentarily casting the dragon figurehead into shadow.
Magisters, they razed sacred elven lands and uprooted ancestor trees from the earth. I was one of them. They tore me apart and turned me into this monstrosity.
The creaking of the ship eases into a contemplative silence.
Once, I was an elf. I passed away and was reborn as an ancestor tree in a beautiful forest surrounded by kin of both flesh and root. But that time has passed. I saw that forest reduced to a dead place. Then I was taken away. My memories were lost, like the leaves from my branches. Of course, wherever there is sea, I will endeavor to bring you. Consult with your companions and set a course.
The ship's awake. Good. Is she ready to sail? Dying to hear them.
Her face crumples into a mask of concern. Her eyes are large and soulless.
Why, because I care, of course. You are so very, very welcome. Meister Siva is one of a rare breed. She'd do anything in the name of a cause, and her cause happens to be you. She's desperate to meet a living Godwoken. She'll be exceedingly pleased we're en route. We'd better not leave her waiting. She's a...
You did it. You spoke to it. Blessings to you, Sorcerer. Now we can escape this place.
I'll be damned to the void, but it looks like the Lady Vengeance has life in her. Malady's raring to go, and I can't say I'm keen to keep floating to nowhere. Let's move!
Our sacred ancestor trees, turned into the slaves of warmongers. The ship is awake. We have to make good on our escape.
The sea awaits. There is much to explore.
Well, what have we here? The ship's alive, isn't she?
A slow, toothless smile stretches across her face.
To driftwood, then. It most certainly is. Forward!